Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are talking about how I prepare for my broadcast as a high school football play-by-play announcer. Alright, so let's just jump right into this one. Let's make it fly on by, get to the point, go through all I want to go through. And this is for people such as me who would like to get into broadcasting, sports broadcasting. Obviously, I'm extremely lucky to be doing it at just 13 years old. Got asked by QC Sportsnet, one of my local stations that cover high school football in the Quad City area, which is right on the Iowa-Illinois border. And I am doing Moline Maroons football all season long, except for 2 games, and including this week. This is one of my off weeks as the Maroons travel south to play Quincy. Taking that one off, but I'll be back for all the rest of the games this season, except for first 2 weeks of the playoffs if we have to make it. But that's beside the point of this video. I'm going to be going through how I prep and what everything looks like for a high school broadcast. And I'm going to go through everything I had for last game. So first, let's start with what I do first thing earlier on in the week. This is a Monday thing, Monday, Tuesday thing for me. So I usually like to prep on weekdays after school and stuff, and in the mornings, and then after that game, take that weekend off, and then get right back to it. Luckily, this is an off week, so I have an entire week off before I have to start prepping for before game in 2 weeks. But here is my storyline sheet. Usually, this is the first thing I do, but here I have Geneseo Storylines, which is a team we played last week. Here you'll see I just have some of the main things, such as coaches, maybe playoffs last year, some of the storylines about the upcoming schedule, and I always list the last game and then the next game, and maybe they have a lot of returning seniors. Like here, Geneseo has 23 returning seniors. That's something I want to mention. Then down here, the chart, a breakdown of 2022-23, and then a 23-24 breakdown. So record, conference record, home road points, or home road record, points scored, points allowed, differential, and win percentage. All that for both last year and this year. Same thing for Moline, except here one thing I found in the stats that got sent to me, which I'll mention that, or I don't think these got sent to me. I saw it in a newspaper article or something. That's another good thing for high school football. Newspaper articles are good. Local newspapers will most likely have a lot of the stats. But here for Moline, last season ended in 4 overtime loss to Yorkville in round 2 of the playoffs. Looking to three-peat as Western Big 6 champs, would be 14th in school history. Beat Geneseo last year, 7-0 in Western Big play last season, opening conference play tonight. Only faced 3 teams this season who are coming off of winning seasons. 13 returning players last game. Next game, 2022-23 breakdown, and here's what I mentioned. The 3 penalties last week for 35 yards. They forced 14 penalties. I remember mentioning that a few times as the night went along, as Moline was able to limit the penalties again. So that was a nice storyline to keep in mind, and that's why this is titled Storylines. So that's what I always start with early on in the week. Storylines, get the first basing around the team. Now, later in the week, it's kind of a, this is more of a Wednesday, Thursday thing, as obviously the games are on Friday. I get rosters, which I turn into this system, which I'll go over in a minute. And I also, get stats for both teams. So here's Geneseo, did my kind of own thing with it, not much, but highlighted that their quarterback leads the league in rushing, and then he also is 5th in the Western Big 6 in passing, so highlighted that, made sure that I would mention that. These are just a ton of stats with a ton of guys that I could go back to as the night went along. I don't remember using this too much. I was kind of limited on space, so it was hard to keep my spotting chart with all that. So that's something I'll have to do a better job of. As that was just my second game, so I'm still learning. Drive chart, try to do this as much as I can. I struggle to keep up a lot But down here, I made sure to keep track of all the scoring plays to go back to as the night went along. And then, where'd my Moline stats go? Here they are. Moline stats also got sent to me. Made sure to highlight a few things on there as well. So that gets sent to me late in the week. Not too much I have to do with that. Here is my, you could call it a spotting board. You could call it rosters that I just put on one page so I can hold it, make it be easier. But over here on one side of this file folder, we have Geneseo. I have highlighted their quarterback, a few stats and stories about him. Same with the running back and kicker, just so I always know who's going to be going out there. For high school, it's hard to do an actual spotting chart like you see a lot of guys do for football, simply because there's just too many players playing offense and defense. You can't fit it all on one sheet. There's that. That got sent to me. Printed that out. Pretty simple. Here for Moline, same thing. But I made sure to write a few offensive and defensive notes down here, along with stuff with the names as well. All right, so that's how I keep my roster straight for a high school game. And lastly, this is just one thing we have for our station, KC Sportsnet sponsor reads, front, back. Make sure that's all updated as the week starts, as I just have to read the sponsors every once in a while. And same thing with our commercial programming. Got to get the log for that every week and update that accordingly. All right, so it's not that hard. It's stress-free, pretty easy. A lot of things just get sent to me, and that's very helpful. So, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this was helpful to you if you're somebody like me and like to see how other people prep, or if you're just curious. But, however, whatever the reason you want to watch this video, I hope it was helpful, and I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye, everybody!